is Belinda Doveston, and it is super. You are here with me for our weekly I Ching forecast for the week commencing the 23rd of March 2026. In these episodes, we look at what should we be focusing on through the I Ching, giving us a particular lens of where our focus, where our energy can coalesce and really accelerate our growth in the week and create something meaningful in our lives and for those around us. Now, last week we had Hexagram 21 biting through that old piece of leather in the mouth. Okay, some challenge we need to bite through. And we had 3 changing lines of varying hecticness, okay? And we had Hexagram 3 difficulty at the beginning, all those chickens hatching, the eggs cracking, and just an overwhelm of things needing to focus on our foundation in the process of something new being born, of the surge of energy coming up, of the seeds that we've been planting, starting to germinate, right, to hatch. How do we deal with that overwhelm? We get back to the foundation. We bite through the obstacles. We take vigorous action. And all those changing lines that came to challenge us this week. How did your week go? I feel a little bit gobsmacked after last week, if it must be said. Oh, hectic, intense energy every day, something new coming and working through us. So how did your week flow? Where were you struggling with difficulty at the beginning? The birthing pains, okay, the growing pains of new energy surging upwards and biting through stuck issues? Or where did you enable yourself through your own efforts or through the fate of the week to be freed up from something where you were feeling stuck? Please do share a comment. Okay, so we have had 3 weekly forecasts in a row, all with 3 changing lines. We've had the monthly for March, 3 changing lines. I'm sure that you're feeling this energy of this unrelenting shifts of stuff coming at us. So I am extremely delighted to tell you that we have a locked hexagram this week. Oh my goodness, a bit of a reprieve. I'm hoping that the surge of all this change and all these changing lines, this relentless energy flows we've been on through this month of March, we get a bit of a respite. We get a little bit of a space to just pause, because it is hexagram 20, contemplation. The structure of the hexagram looks like an Arc de Triomphe. It looks like a tower. Okay, it's a tower. That's what it means. We climb the tower to get perspective. We climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower as an example, and we look down at the streets of Paris and we see clearly. We see patterns. We see flows. We see connections between things because we have perspective. Now, I've done a deep dive episode for this hexagram, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm going to link in the detailed episode for you on this hexagram. But one of the things I speak about in the long form of this hexagram is the idea of the overview effect that astronauts have when they go up into space. And it's a well-known phenomenon, and you go up to space and you look back on Earth and you see this blue marble and you think, oh my goodness, this is home. This is a precious thing. This is so important. This is everything. And she's so fragile and so beautiful. And actually, when you have that perspective and you pull back and you see the whole thing in one thing, you have this newfound appreciation and understanding of the bigger picture. And given everything that's going on in our world at this moment, and all the chaos and the crises and the uncertainty and the fear and all the stuff that goes with it, this energy this week, I think, is perfectly timed to allow us to just look at Earth as a whole and just say, okay, this is very precious. This is very beautiful. Most of the people on Earth just want to go about their lives and be protected and be safe and be fed and to love each other and to have safe families. Most of the people on Earth are like that. And the Earth is this beautiful ball, this beautiful thing that is our home that should be protected at all costs. Life should be protected at all costs. Everyone's important. Everyone's connected. Everyone's part of this beautiful thing called planet Earth. So this really came to mind in thinking about contemplation this week and the tower and what we're being asked to focus on. I feel a huge sense of relief actually that there aren't any changing lines this week. And I like getting changing lines because there's lots of dynamic energy to play with. But there's almost a sense of we've been swirling, swirling, swirling. Okay, like when you were kids, you used to do this thing of going around the merry-go-round, or you go around a whirlpool, right, in the swimming pool, and you go round and round and round and round. You build up this huge momentum, and then you stop, and you kind of, you're in that space. And I feel like we're in, I hope it's on an eye of a storm, as it were, but there's a space where we have the opportunity this week to climb the tower, to get perspective. Perhaps we've been so in all this activity and all this change and all this stuff and all this noise that we haven't been able to really see how it all glues together. And maybe this week we get this opportunity of just seeing things in perspective, of having just a little bit of space. And if you don't naturally get that space, make that space to have that time out. Okay, that retreat to the top of the tower, get the bird's eye view, get perspective, see things differently, pull ourselves out of the detail of what's happening on the ground. We're not little mice scurrying around. We're the eagle that's looking and seeing the mice, but also seeing everything else as well. This is important. And I feel like given the last few weeks, right, even taking into account the abysmal energy from last month, I mean, we're still dealing with that. There's this opportunity this week just to stand in the center, right, and be present and to have that perspective. We are going to get the opportunity to see that this week. How we leverage that moment, all right, whether we take advantage of the little bit of silence, the little bit of perspective, is to get that view and look back down and reevaluate where you're at. I have already felt this energy the last few days. I've been wanting to take time out and relook at strategy and reorient what is important, reprioritize the route ahead. I've been having that feeling of personally and professionally wanting to do that. And if you're feeling that too, you're feeling this energy starting to come and bubble up to talk to you. It's a fantastic energy for us to work with this week. It is an opportunity even with your team, right? For your team and you just to have a moment of being together, of seeing things in a new way, of saying, what are we missing? What in this picture are the stress points, are the blind spots, are the things that we really don't want to deal with? What is it that we are creating? Come back to the plan, come back to the strategy, come back to the vision you're trying to create. Whether it's your personal vision, your professional, or for your business, for your family, come back to the vision you're wanting to create. Take time out to the tower. No one can do that for you. Only you can say, I want to see things anew. I want to see things in perspective. I want to reconnect with the bigger picture of what I'm trying to do, because we have been scurrying around in a bit of a crisis mode, dealing with chickens bursting forth and pieces of leather we were cutting through, and all this flow and all this energy. We have been dealing with it. Now this week we have the chance to reset, to re-see, to reconfigure, to renew, because we're seeing things in a new way. And perhaps some of the puzzle pieces that you've been struggling to see click into place. Suddenly things make sense because you've had the chance to see it. And you've been through a process of all the churn and all the activity and all the insights and all the work and all the kind of scurrying around. This week, give yourself the opportunity to see clearly and to take that time out and to reset where you go next. Who knows where the energy shifts after this little pivot point? That's how I see it. There's all this mad energy. Wow, 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 wow. And then we come into this kind of eye of the storm with a silent point where, ooh, okay, what is this? Where do we go now? All right, because we don't know where things pivot next. And if we are ready, we're clear, we've had that time out, we've invested in seeing clearly, this week, those things help us as we go along. All right, short and sweet this week. Watch out for the link that I've put in for the longer episode if you'd like to get into more detail on this hexagram. But other than that, happy towering this week. I trust that next week there'll be some new insights for you, or perhaps a recalibration back to what's really important after all these changing lines we've been traversing through together. Thank you so much for being here with me. If this was valuable, a like, a thumbs up would be really great. If you are new to the channel, you know what to do. Subscribe, the bell, the buttons, the follow buttons. Go for it. And I look forward to seeing you next week for our last weekly forecast for March, a little bit of March and some April. So until then, take care.